We are having a known self-proclaimed teacher. He interprets suttas of Tripitaka on his own way. He totally misinterprets the teaching of Buddha and creates an object-oriented practice, which is totally opposite of what Buddha is teaching. In this video, we are discussing about his misinterpretation about Goenka. He thinks that Goenka's teaching is just a kindergarten teaching, just 1% of what Buddha is teaching. He asks why Goenka says Vedana as sensation. Vedana is not sensation. So just working on sensation will not work. That is not what Buddha is teaching. We need to work on all sense door. He thinks NamaRupa is not mentality and materiality. Instead, he gives totally object-oriented meaning of Nama and Rupa. Here is the discussion. If we take theoretical part, then he talks about six sense door. The body sensation is sense door faculty of body. It's not true. The gross body sensation definitely it's the sense door of the body. But subtle body sensation also, if we say it is the sense door of the body, then there is a misunderstanding. Right? That is one point. His main question is why we are working only in the domain of the body and not working in the domain of the eyes, domain of the ears and domain of the taste and tongue. Bhagwan Buddha told us to work on all the sense door, right? But here why we are working only in the sense door of the body and we are not working in the other sense doors like eye and I was also under the impression that whatever sensation we get in the body is just like another object, like an external eyesight object or external sound. Like that there is a sensation. So we are categorizing it as one of them. You are getting me? And there we get trapped. Yeah, it is one of the sense door object. The sensation is one of the sense door object. And that's why we are only working in the sense door object. So, like any other external alamban, external object, like someone can see this red color and meditate on that. Like that we are meditating on external object called sensation. It has no sync up with the holistic experience. This is the impression that we get, but it is not true. Okay, that is one point. So let us define this concept. Okay, any experience is made up of two components, the subject and object, the experiencer and experience, anubhokta and anubhav. Now, if we consider body sensation as external object, just like external sight and sound, then we are wrong. The sensations, to some extent, right, the grosser sensation of the body, if something touches me, to that extent we can say it is external. But the subtle sensations are not external. The practice that we do in Goenka is subjective practice, not objective practice. So practice is like observing an external object, right, and working on it is objective practice. But in the context of object, what is my internal experience? From top to bottom, we work on the body sensation, right? From one point of onward, it's not an object, it is totally subjectivity. It's not an me and the sensation, right? Observer and the observed. It's not like that. If you are familiar with this body sensation, you feel the difference in the context of external object like sound and sight. You feel the body sensation within you. That is subjective reaction. So when I was in 20-day retreat, I heard a loud sound outside. And because I was deep in meditation, I realized that there is a fear sensation in me. Okay. But after few milliseconds, I understood, I perceived that that is the sound of peacock. The perception of peacock is not fearful, but the sound was fearful. So I was getting sensation of fear. So I asked this question to teacher, but teacher could not explain properly. If you say sensation is feeling, right? Feeling is sensation or not? That's a question, right? What Buddha called Vedana, is it the same as the sensation or not? That's a main question. If you say yes, it is a feeling, it is Vedana, but for only in the context of bodily. But there is a Chetasik Vedana that we get when we see the sound and or. Who is right? Either this definition or this definition. Because in Goenka tradition we all say the body sensation is the Vedana. There is no other Vedana. Right? So here I was confused little bit, and that explanation was also not correct. But later I realized that the subjectivity, like me and mine, is the main concept of Goenka, right? That's what I call subjectivity. I, me, and myself. It is the subjectivity. And ideally speaking, the whole spiritual domain, if you take Hinduism or anything, the main concern is to remove the ego. Everyone who is either Buddhist or Hindu works on removing the ego, right? The Advait, if you take, Advait also taking you toward a state of non-duality, right? Where object and subject merge. So why this kind of practice basically? Only working on the object. It is I have never seen. This is actually totally new. So I was thinking that what was that? Why I got the body sensation prior to perception, right? I perceived it as a peacock, but body sensation was even prior to my perception. So it's not like it was a lion, I perceived it as a lion, and because it is a lion, I was fear. It was not like that. It was just a loud sound and the body reacted, correct? And after few milliseconds, I could understood, oh, this is peacock. So because of the perception of peacock, there was no fear. But prior to that, fear has aroused in. So I was contemplating on that and realized that brain works independently and body mind works independently. Means brain is trying to get the object and perceive it, right? It feels the object and perceive it. So Vedana and Sanya are there for the object. Matlab, it's a peacock, right? There is a feeling of peacock. Matlab, peacock is felt, heard, and it is perceived. But this is not Vedana. The Vedana that Buddha is talking about is this subjective reactivity, right? So the fear has took over me and tried to react to that object. So this is subjective reaction that we call Vedana. Okay. Objectively, so let's say my wife, always he talks about, right? My wife. Remove my wife. So what are you doing? You are working on the object. You are trying to change the perception. Correct? But what about the attachment to the wife that is inside you? You are not seeing it. The subjectivity can be seen only this way. And now this subjectivity, it cannot be said it is a sense door of the body, because this subjectivity which I felt is felt throughout the body, but it was in the context of the sound.
Still it's an object, right?
Yeah.
Sound is an object.
Sound is an object. But this Vedana is my internal bodily feeling.
Yeah.
Right? So the feeling of the peacock, if I say, cut the peacock, there is no peacock, 4 element. Can I do this?
No, so first, before you get to the Vedana, as soon as you heard the sound, when something that sensed or touched, I felt the Vedana in the body, that maybe some emotion or something came, like the fear. And that also has got some another sensation, another feeling, another Vedana. And then as you saw that object, oh, then you perceived it differently.
Perceive it differently. Right?
And then again you got the Vedana. It was a pleasant Vedana or the neutral Vedana.
Exactly.
That overpowered the fear Vedana.
Exactly.
Right?
So, this subjectivity is so much primordial and unconsciously it is reacting, right? So by changing the perception, which we can do at the brain level only, right? Mind level only, mano level only. Okay, it's not a peacock, it's not a lion. So this perception changing game will not help us because the reaction has happened. Even prior to you can perceive. Now the process or practice of unperceiving or perceiving it otherly will never help. Ideal process, vipassana, this practice is to see, right? This subjectivity, yes, there is a sensation of feeling that we are seeing, we are not changing it. See, we are never changing it. In the practice of vipassana or in the practice of Buddha, there is nothing to be changed. So this is the main difference. I think we have discussed it earlier, but for the sake of record, I am putting it that this is the main difference. That calling our bodily sensation as just bodily objects will not help. Particularly when Goenka says, what are three kinds of Vedana? So Goenka says, it's not the neutral, it's not the pleasant or it's not unpleasant that we normally say, right? When we go deeper, first we get only so-called neutral or so-called dukkha sensation. But going further, we get sukhad sensation. And then we get pasaddhi, the feeling of total peace. That's what he called neutral sensation, not this normal neutral sensation, right? So you saw something externally. Now whether it is sukhad, dukkha or neutral, mostly we can't say, right? How can you work on that? Mostly we can't say. Generally we don't get loud Vedana by seeing any external object. You say my wife, my wife, my wife. Cut it, my wife. But already my wife is not impacting you so much, right? Now you are cutting it unnecessarily. There is no wife, there is just four elements, correct? Ideally, attachment you have to see. When your wife comes and scolds you, beats you, and does something which is unpleasant, that time only there will be a feeling, correct? Every day your wife is moving around. That doesn't mean you have to cut it, right? The ideal practice is, this is my wife, that's all. There should not be a proliferation on top of it, right? If something wrong is happening, something unpleasant act she does, at that time you have to see inside you what is the reaction you can see in the body and then observe it, analyze it, correct? This is kusala, this is akusala, right? Why I am getting angry? You analyze that and work on your reactivity, your subjectivity, rather than working on the object which is your wife. If you say cut your wife, okay, so suddenly what happens? She does something wrong. You cut it and you feel nothing. But the potentiality of you getting angry is cut. That doesn't mean you have solved the problem, right? The anger would have come if your wife is your wife and she does something wrong. This both is the fundamental requirement. There must be your wife and she must do something unpleasant to you. Only then you can test yourself, isn't it? If already there is no wife, how can you test yourself? So the practice should not be objective. Practice should be subjective. Anybody doing anything unpleasant to me or pleasant to me, in that context I have to be alert. Right now I have to be alert. Potentially I might get angry. Right now, just imagine your wife doing something wrong. Every day she is cooking very tasty food. Just imagine, just visualize that today she has cooked very unpleasant food. See what happens inside you, right? See, battleground and playground. Playground we keep on working, but ultimately we are tested in battleground, right? Right now everything is peaceful in your home. You keep on working. That doesn't mean the battleground will come when your wife cooks the unpleasant food. Daily she doesn't do. This is the battleground now. Now what happens inside you? You have to see. So this is the right practice. That subjectivity, the doer, the karta, right? Wife is an object and husband is a subject, right? We have to work on husband, not the wife.
We have to correct ourselves. We can't go to the jungle and we say, hey, everything cut.
Yeah.
And then where will you go?
Yeah. So this is the game of perception. If you cut everything perceptually, it's just like a senseless person, right?
Yeah.
There are so many senseless person here also. They throw plastic on the road. They don't care for the nation. Why? Because they have cut the perception that this is my India, isn't it? They have already cut the perception. There is no India. If this is my India, definitely I would do something good and also bad, whatever. But if you cut the perception, nothing is going to happen. So that is one thing, that the subjectivity is more important than objectivity. And that's why what P.L. Dhar said, that's what that Bhikkhu Nyanmoli says, makes lot of sense. That even while we are objectively looking at the sensation, we have to subjectively analyze ourselves. Background awareness, that's yoniso manasikaro, right? That is more important. Even in Goenka's tradition, we should not just see the sensation, even though it will be helpful, but we should collectively see what happens in my background, right? In Goenka tradition also, people are doing wrong, that they just see the sensation, that's all. 1 hour morning, 1 hour evening, just see the sensation. But while seeing the sensation, in the back of mind, thoughts are arising, lot of things have arising in the back of mind. They are not integrating it.
Yeah, the peripheral awareness is not there.
That peripheral awareness is the most important thing while you are concentrated on that. So there is a drawback in Goenka also, and there is drawback in this also.
Yeah,
This is
everywhere. Yeah.
this is total objectivity that he is teaching, and in Goenka also, he is teaching properly, but people are not serious about it.
Understanding. Yeah.
They are not integrating. If you go to 30-day and if you go to 20-day course, he is saying to integrate, right? Do the vipassana on chitta also. You do breaking, vikatan, vichayan at the chitta level also. That he speaks definitely. But here it is like for advanced student only. But in the beginning also, right now also, 10-day course students also, when they try to focus, on the sensation, there will be a lot of thought arising. If you integrate them, if you work on them, if you bring the mind back to the sensation, if you bring the mind back to the breathing, that effort itself will solve a lot of problems. Almost 90% of your sankhara will be eradicated just by practicing samadhi only. Any kind of samadhi, may it be chanting, may it be anything. See, you take any object, a sight, a sound, a chant, breathe, sensation, right? And you don't know any dharma or anything. Just keep on doing. Work on the samadhi, increase this period of samadhi. Your mind get deviated and you bring back. Your mind get deviated and you bring back. You don't do anything other than. Even this will help you to 90% of the problem will get solved. Only 10% which is needed for Nibbana will need definitely and penetrative vipassana.
True.
So when that kind of practice, we are working on the object, like cutting the perception. It's totally countering what Buddha says.
Yeah. So what he says, like, when he is coming in a flight, he says, I cut off the flight, I cut off Bangalore, and then I'm there. But where you are?
Yeah, where you are becoming insensitive, right? In other words,
Yeah. On anesthetics.
anesthetic, right? So you have the sankhara of anger in you, but it will not come up. You should let flow your sankhara and observe it.
Yeah.
See, what happened is, in the time of Buddha, whatever Vedantic culture was there, Buddha found this problem and he turned down it. See, at that time also, people were working on objects. So, they were reducing the object and getting into the jhana, right? But at the end, they found themselves, aham brahmasmi. So, Buddha also found that there is no work on subject here. My defilements are still there, correct? So, what he did is, he turned down the practice. He said, now let us reverse this process of what these people are doing. We will work only on the subject and not on the object. That's why this concept of anatta came, right? So from the beginning we are working on the subject. And working on the subject until it is removed. The perception of self has to be removed. Cut the perception of self. That was his practice. We are cutting the perception of the object here. Ideally, what we have to do? We have to work continuously on subject. Who am I? Who am I? In the presence of wife, where is the husband? In the presence of employee, where is the employer? Right? Continuously keep on observing your reaction, your subjectivity, your ego, ahankar, asmita. Keep on observing it. Keep under watch your asmita, the selfness, and see if anything can be removed from yourself. This is not me. This is not me. Right? You don't remove wife. You remove husband. Can I remove husband from myself? You work on that. Can I remove husband from myself? Can I remove father from myself? Right? Keep on removing subjectivity. Finally come to sunyata. That's what Buddha's practice. Everything Buddha turned down, and again after some time this Brahmin came and turned down Buddha's practice back to original practice of Brahminism. Work on the object. But subject is intact, and that's why aham brahmasmi becomes. Because aham has never worked on. So when objects keep on reducing, becomes pure awareness, where there is no object. At that time he says, oh, this is pure awareness, but the subject is never worked on. So this subject remains in that pure awareness. I am. And that's why this sentence came, aham brahmasmi. So that's why Buddha said this is the main problem. Because when you go up and up in the jhana, it's very difficult to work on self. Because from the bottom, the view, the ditthi is not corrected that there is no self. So the same procedure, Buddha reversed and said, there is no self from the beginning you start working and enter into jhana. Then that's why he introduced ninth jhana, where there is no Vedana and there is no sanya. So there is no subject.
Correct.
Sorry, I forgot about that.
Hi Viren.
Hello, Sachin, how are you?
Hi, fine.
Yeah, sorry, I was just...
Janak, what should I do? Shall I repeat that what we discussed first? Yeah.
Okay.
You can brief him. First of all, what we are doing, Sachin, tell Viren.
Yeah, Viren, I have recorded, so you can listen it later. I will put it on YouTube privately.
Okay. Okay.
But anyway, I will brief you. So Viren, what my point was that what he is teaching, right? That watching sensation is just one sense door. What about other sense door? That eye sense door, ear sense door, right? Tongue sense door. Why you guys are working only on the one sense door? That is,
you're talking about Vipassana teaching or?
Anyone who is countering Goenka practice, right?
Okay.
He says that what Goenka teaches is just little bit of the Dhamma. Why? Because this region. Lot of people will try to demotivate you from practicing Goenka. And my point is that Goenka's practice is not KG practice. It is PhD practice. People are trying to explain you that Goenka practice is like a KG practice. You have to move on and come to the vast ocean of Buddha Dharma. Right? It's a false notion. And that's what I am trying to prove. Why it is false. Okay.
Yeah.
So the one point was, we have to be very clear on technical terms, right? What happens is Buddha has defined few technical terms, and then later people redefine it by themselves. If you go to their definition, definitely you will understand from their point of view only.
Yes.
But that time, what Buddha would have been thinking, we have to understand that. Okay. This question I have addressed that. Why you guys are working only on the body? Why you are not working on the eyes and ears and this and that, right? So that's what explaining to him that it's not true. The body sensation is not a sense door of the body. Why? Because even when you heard the sound, there is a sensation of the body. Now this question, that whether body sensation is called Vedana or Vedana is something else and body sensation is something else, this is also misguiding factor. I gave my example that when I was in retreat, 20-day retreats, I heard a very loud sound, and because of that loud sound, there was a sensation of fear in my body. And after few milliseconds, I realized that it's a sound of peacock.
Right.
Right? It was so loud that it was so fearful. But after some time, I perceived it as a peacock and my fear goes away. So what happens? Even before I could perceive it, it is a peacock. Even before I could feel it as a peacock sound, my body has reacted already. So body is unconscious mind. First understand that. And it reacts instantly.
So you are saying that that fear came instantly because you were not aware, you didn't know what kind of sound that was, right? So
Yeah.
the fear came because normally fear come from unknown things.
Hmm.
So so that fear was Vedana, yeah.
Yeah. See, brain works very slow compared to unconscious mind. The heart. Heart is very fast. Chitta is very fast. Mano is little slow. The brain is little slow. Okay. It takes time to parse the information. So the sound came. Brain is working on it. But prior to that, it has been understood by the body and reacted,
Yeah.
right? And reacted too. But it took little longer time by the brain to perceive it as a peacock. So this is object and this is subject. Understand that experience is always made of two: experiencer and experience, subject and object, right? And frankly speaking, any spiritual practice is oriented and should be oriented towards subject, not the object. The sound is an object. If you work on the sound, it's not spirituality, because adi atma means toward self.
Yeah.
But adhyatma, spirituality, right, is all about subjectivity, not about object. So obviously there is a feeling of objective feeling, and there is a objective perception that it is peacock, but there is subjectivity involved in that it is fearful. The perception of fear, है ना, or perception of it's a peacock, just peacock normal, it's not a danger for me. This kind of perception or subjective perception, this kind of feeling is subjective feeling, and that's why it will be felt as bodily. And that's why it is not right to say that bodily sensation are not related to five sense door, right? If you are working on sensation, you are only working on body and you are not working on the sound. It's wrong to say that. So the question is whether sensation, can we say sensation is feeling or feeling is something else?
No, because whatever happened through that senses, five to senses, they all process through the body, right? So that's how we have. That's why we need to observe the sensation. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So okay. So by just observing sensation, you are covering everything.
Yeah, so trying to feel the object and try to perceive the object is objective reality, and in the presence of object, what is your reactivity is subjective reality. Understand this too.
Can you repeat what was the subjective?
Object subject duality, the experience is always made of the experiencer and experience, subject and object, right? If there is wife in front of you, there is a husband in you, right? The husband is the subject, the wife is an object, the car is an object, the owner is a subject. So for example, when you see the car, the object is just the car, huh?
Yeah.
But the myness in the car is the subject. Actually it's not my car, it's feeling of the owner of the car, the subject, है ना? The pride is not in the car, pride is where? In you, the owner. The feeling of the owner, the feeling of the subject is called pride. I am having this very costly car, right? So this subjectivity is felt, the pride is felt not in the car, in context of the car. Your brain is not working on this pride and all that kind of thing, this me mine thing. Your brain is simply physical device which just parses this sight object and it says that it's a car. That's all.
Yeah.
Your eye sense door has done its job. It's a car. That's all. This relation of me mine is your subjectivity that arises in you. And why we are working on bodily sensation? Because Sakkaya Ditthi is attached with the body. This is me has been programmed for millions of years. So this body and this mind are too much interlinked. They just reciprocate each other. And that's why the pride can only be felt on the body. See, lot of mental sensation are also felt on the body. Just understand that. Dhara Prava, if you take Dhara Prava, it is not physical, it is mental, but actually felt as physical. Understand that. See, when you sit for 1 hour, you feel comfortable. That comfort, sukha, is not your body has changed. Your body has not become like a young body. Your body is still same old body paining. But why you are not getting the pain? Because it is a mental feeling. But where are you experiencing it? In the body. You say what? My body is not paining now. So you are getting the feeling of happiness. You are getting the pleasure in the body, even though it is mental. So don't discriminate the subjective Vedana this is bodily, this is not bodily. Don't discriminate that. They are same only. Just concentrate on who am I. You will always find yourself body. Just close your eyes and see the existence of yourself. This I exist is felt as peripheral awareness of the body only. Just this body. Forget sensation. Just isness of the body. The body is felt as me. Correct?
Yeah.
You cannot escape that. That is the subject. When first time I was into Vipassana retreat, they asked me this question, what sensation you experience? I said, I experience just isness of the body. I said, when I go to hand, I feel like the hand is there, right? And I thought this is the silly answer. But now I say that it is not a silly answer. The hand is there. It's not your concept, right? Even though, let's say, there is no sensation in the body. Right now, you are not feeling any sensation in the body. But you know that hand is there. You can feel it, right? Just feel your hand is there. The isness, right, is so much attached to the body. Your chitta is so much attached to this body is your mind and this mind is your body. So this reactivity, the subjectivity is actually felt on the body only, even though it is not bodily. So that's why working on the object, cutting the perception, there is no car, for example, right? You cannot work on the pride. To work on the pride of the car, you must say, this is my car. That will trigger pride in you. And now you have opportunity to see into your pride. You are getting me? So if you cut the perception of the car, you are cutting this opportunity. You are putting yourself into anesthesia.
How do you cut the perception of car?
So that's what you guys have been told, right?
Yeah.
So far, what you learned? You have learned this only, right? Huh?
Janak knows better. He's been learning from longer than me.
Yeah, so this wife and no wife you would have heard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what, like, the cut off Bangalore and cut off that flight,
Yeah.
cut off this class or that class. And then, okay, when Sydney comes, open the eyes, something like that. But yeah, I can't do it.
And now, even if you can, even if you can do it, I can do it, no problem. But point is, there is no benefit in that.
Yeah, but like, whatever is there is there. The car is there, like, so it's something like, the pride or the luxury or the thoughts about the car I will have like this and that. If you remove that one, that makes sense.
The relation with object you have to cut. You should not say this is not my wife. It's my wife. It's my car. But internally, there is a vibration in you or not. Means there is a movement in you or not. The pride arises or not. You have to see whether the mineness arises in me or not. Not by the word. You have to literally see it. And to see yourself fully and totally, the only practice is to be with your body. Because your body represents your mind. Your body represents your subjectivity. If you are too much acquainted with the body, too much working on your sensation of the body, you will start noticing this easily. Otherwise, it's not possible. Cutting is not a solution. Cutting is preventing, suppressing. Something want to come out of you and you are not giving it opportunity, right? If there is a serial killer, if no one come in front of him, how can he kill, right?
So you are saying that, for example, if I see my wife, I should see what kind of feeling I get into me, yeah, when I see her.
Not only see her, when some unplanned, unthoughtful thing happens, like I was giving example, let's say today she is cooking bad food, or today she is not listening to you. Every day she was listening to you, but now she is saying, I am not interested in you. Something like unthoughtful thing arise. Some incident happens between you and your wife, right? That is the battleground. Right now your wife is very comfortable sitting next to you, talking very nicely. Now you are working on your wife. It's not possible. Right now everything is so much favorable. What you have to do is the potentiality of conflict you have to see. Just visualize that your wife is no more the same wife, right? She has changed. Now she is not as good as earlier. Just imagine that. Bring that experience in you. Visualize. Today, this happened. What happens in you? Your subjectivity, anger will come in you. Observe that anger. You get my point? Everything is goody goody and you work, it will not help. You have to see the potentiality. See, let's say tomorrow your wife does something wrong. Will you be angry? You ask yourself. Answer will come. Definitely. That means you have worked in the potentiality, right? The potentiality of anger, the potentiality of pride is right now present in you. Right now anger is in you in context of your wife. If you just sit and meditate, can I be angry if this happens? That means you have to work on that. Rag, Dvesh and Moh, these three things we have to work on. You need not to worry about Sotapanna, Sakdagami, this and that. If Rag is equal to 0, Moh is equal to 0, Dosh is equal to 0, you are Arhant. To that extent, you are not Arhant. That's all. Right now, there is a potentiality of anger in you. This is sufficient content for you to work on in regard to your wife.
No, I don't have any problem with my wife.
No. I'm saying not the problem with your wife. Will you have same statement if something unwanted thing happen? I'm not saying to say or discuss with us. This is not something to be discussed. This is something to be meditated. This is contemplation method, right? See, Pahan, the removal of anger, Bhikkhu Nyanmoli says, can be identified like this only. Is there any potentiality in me? Right? In your company, if your employee, if your colleagues behave differently, what will be your reaction? Only then you can be tested. You can contemplate in the daily meditation and see your bodily sensation. What happens in you? Just by visualizing, you can see the changes in you and work on that subjectively.
Yeah, so mainly when we have got everything good happening, then we are okay. When the grass is green, the sky is blue, all going good, then that is fine. But definitely situation change. So that means something, whatever happens, it happens inside. The reaction and things, whatever happens, that is inside. Okay. So just saying, working with the object and cutting off the object, that's not solved. So that's what I couldn't understand. And that's what, whatever we have learned from Goenkaji, that makes sense. But that is also with the open-minded, the peripheral awareness. It is not like the close looking into something objectively, to work subjectively.
Even when we are practicing Goenka's method, we have to understand that sensation is object that we are picking. Even though it is subjective, when you observe the sensation, it is object. You are objectively seeing your subjectivity. Right? For example, when you are observing the sensation in the hand, it is object. But when I am looking sensation in the leg, now sensation in the hand are subjective because your subjectivity is connected throughout the body. Right? So that is background awareness, the full body. That's what P.L. Dhar is very right in saying, full body awareness, zoom out awareness of the full body. even while you are meditating objectively on one particular sensation or the breath. The breath is an object, the sensation, whatever sensation I am observing is an object, but who is observing this object? That is yoniso manasikaro, looking back. See, anubhav is objective always, but realization, Hindi word is better. Ahsas is the right word for bodhi or for realization. Who is observing? Where is the observer? You can never see the observer, correct? Whatever you are observing will always be the object, and there will be the subject which is observing it. Just have a curiosity to know that there is some observer. Curiosity to know that there is something called background awareness, peripheral awareness. It's the most important practice that Chuladasa in that book has given. From that only, that mind illuminated, right? First time I have heard that, and he has explained very beautifully what is peripheral awareness. From that only you will move very fast toward this subject object domain, because first time he has explained very beautifully that right now you are looking at me, but in your eye domain there are a lot of other objects are also there. You know it, right? Just on the left side or right side of you there is some object, maybe water bottle. In my case my mobile is there. I am not looking at it, but I can see it. That way he explained peripheral awareness. Peripheral awareness is something that you not attend. Whichever you attend is foreground awareness, and whichever you not attend is background awareness. For example, your body, full body awareness that PL Dhar is talking, or even breath, right? You can know while you are talking to me. You need not to experience the breath. You just know that breath is coming in, breath is going out. Even if you are attending the breath, now come to the nose tip and attend the breath. Even then there are two different things. Experiencing the breath and knowing the breath. Seeing and knowing are two different things. Feeling and perceiving are two different things. You feel the breath when you are focusing on the nostril. You feel the touch of the breath, right? But then you know this is breath. If you can work on cutting this feeling and perception, you can progress very fast. Just knowing is also possible. For example, ideally there is no object called breath, right? There is nothing called breath. No one knows that is a breath. It is our concept, right? It is an conceptual object. Understand that. There is no object called breath. What is the real object? Either we are seeing the compressing of the stomach or chest, we feel it, right? The movement of the chest, the movement of the stomach, or we feel something in the nose, and then we perceive that there is a breath. You understand? So this way you have to work. Even though foreground you are attending an object like breath, there is seeing and there is knowing. The touch of the breath is seeing because it is directly felt. The sensation is seen because it is unnamed object. You are not able to name that. What you are naming, it's a breath. Ideally, there is no breath.
When I watch breath, or most of the time, not sometime, my breath become longer and deeper, like doing asana. And I know that, and I'm not trying to make it longer and bigger, but it just happen automatically. And it feel like I am doing it, I know, but then I have no choice. It just happened. So is it a good thing or a problem, or what do you think?
No. It is best thing. Initially, it will be longer. Why it is becoming longer? You know, because since you are not available to the body is deprived of the oxygen. So the moment you come back to the body, it feels relaxed. It try to breathe more.
Yeah.
The shortage is becoming fulfilled, and slowly, if you are available to the body, it will become smaller and smaller and smaller.
Becomes smaller, yeah. When you relax.
Because you are available to the body does know what to do and how much to breathe and how long to breathe. You are not breathing. The body breathes.
Yeah.
You are just observing the awareness of the breath and action of the breath. First, that's what we practice in Goenka thing, right? Karta bhav we remove, the doerness we remove. But still drashta bhav is there, right? You feel the sensation, you feel the breath. But the primary practice of ourself is to remove the doership, right? The natural breath, that's we try to see. So we try to get distance from the breath for that purpose. And that's why the moment you become available, it knows how much to breathe. You don't know, but your body knows how much to breathe. And that's why it is longer, because right now it is lot of oxygen is needed. See, you are thinking, breath is going on. If your thought becomes zero, breath cannot be, because thought needs brain to work and brain need oxygen, and that's why you are breathing. You are getting me? This breath, this moment breath is because previous moment I have consumed oxygen. So mind and breath are just representing each other. If your mind is thinking too much, your breath will be too much. That's it. You are just seeing your breath, actually you are seeing your mind. It was mirror. Breath is just a mirror to see your mind. The smoothness, the tactile, the haphazardness, right? The silkiness, the width, the length, the quality, a lot of quality of the breath actually defines quality of mind.
So that's why we watch breath, so we can reduce the thoughts. Is that right? Is that the aim, to watch breath so your mind doesn't have much time to think? Or it could be part of it if it's not completely the reason, yeah?
The reason your mind calms down is your intention, right? Your mind get distracted. The moment you realize mind get distracted, you bring it back.
Yeah.
This practice will eventually make your mind calm, not the breath. Breath is a parameter like thermometer from which you can decide to change the practice. For example, if it is too much thoughts are coming, right? It's better to open your eyes, or it's better to breathe intentionally, deep breathing. Not too much, little deep breathing, right? For 1 or 2. All this strategy you can apply. It helps, right?
Yeah.
It's a meditation object. If you take any other meditation object, like looking at external color, then also you can calm down. So this calming down of the mind is not because of the breath, but you can see reflection of your mind in the breath. If with any other object also, you could have calmed down the mind, not just because breath. Just understand that. Even if you are chanting the God's name, or even if you are looking at the God's idol, your mind would have calmed down, because it's a meditation object, and because you come back to it again and again. You are practicing coming back again and again. This coming back again and again is mindfulness.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And another thing is, my major dispute with him was he was define everything objectively, even name and form, NamaRupa, Paticcasamuppada, right? The whole Paticcasamuppada. I mean, are you studying Buddha Dharma?
Yeah, he's studying. Yeah, he knows.
But not expert.
So you know Paticcasamuppada, right? Avidya
Yeah.
Pachaya, Sankhar Pachaya, Vinyan Pachaya, NamaRupa, Pachaya Saraitan Pachaya, Phassa. Actually speaking, this is total subjectivity. The arising of self in me can be defined as Paticcasamuppada. Like in the presence of your car, the owner of the car arises, right? And this owner can be defined in this way. Avidya Pachaya, Sankhar Pachaya, Vinyan Pachaya, NamaRupa, Pachaya Saraitan Pachaya, Phassa Pachaya, Tanha Pachaya, Upadan Pachaya, Bhava, the becoming of Viren, right? The Viren is Bhava, the subject, right? The subject is Bhava. The Paticcasamuppada is totally the evolution of the subject in every moment. Every moment subject arises from nothing, and this arising from nothing of the subject is called Paticcasamuppada. But he is defining Paticcasamuppada also objective. NamaRupa is name and form. This is the main dispute, because this is the crux, this is the core teaching of Buddha, and he distorted it. The NamaRupa in Goenka's tradition is called mentality and materiality. This body and this mind is called NamaRupa. This mentality and this materiality. The Rupa is this body, and Nama is this mentality, the Chitta, this mind in this present moment, right? What he defines is, when you see the object like wife, this body of the wife is Rupa, and in the context of wife, whatever the feeling and all that arise is Nama. It becomes totally objective definition. You get? So like that, he is redefining lot of words, and that's why, since like Viren, right, he has not learned too much. So what will happen is, he don't know what is NamaRupa, and first time he is hearing what is NamaRupa, and then on the context of that thing, everything he will see from that definition. He will never question that. And this is the main problem, because from the very basic you are getting wrong definition. What is NamaRupa? See, just understand that if you are practicing Goenka, it is Burmese tradition, it is Buddhaghosa, and denial Buddhaghosa. If someone denies Goenka, right, you agree to that Goenka is just teaching this much, Goenka's this method is wrong, 10-day sitting is not needed, or it is a conditional environment. If you agree to that and still say that I will practice what Goenka teaches, then this is a ripped in you. You getting me? You are cutting yourself into two. Available to people who are against your teacher and practicing what your teacher says, now you are cut into two. I mean, you have no Shraddha. You are breaking down your faith in you. Either become so strong and counter that argument and protect your teacher, otherwise you will become Trisanku.
Yeah, I did protest. I did protest for that. I said, how can you defame Goenkaji?
He can defame, but you have to counter argument with like a lawyer that you are wrong, this is right. That is the protection, right?
Openly he didn't say anything, but indirectly he was keep saying, this is...
I know he's very eloquent in communicating, in cutting and passing aside, and lot of things he's master of. That's why I disconnected from. See, the Buddhaghosa, he is again opposing Buddhaghosa by saying it is just a commentator. Original teaching is Buddha. Buddhaghosa is just a commentator. So it's not original teaching of Buddha, right? If you practice Goenka, you are actually practicing Buddhaghosa. This VisuddhiMagga, Abhidhamma, these are the crux, the core fundamental understanding of Goenka. Anything which comes from Burmese tradition is based on Buddhaghosa. And this definition he brings of NamaRupa is fundamentally from the grassroots is cutting Buddhaghosa. He's wrong. Put it aside. That means the moment he put Buddhaghosa aside, Goenka aside, you are gone. The fundamental definition, the crux of what Buddha wants to teach you is Paticcasamuppada. If you don't know Paticcasamuppada and try to learn it from someone who is opposing your practice, it is too much distorting for you. Paticcasamuppada and NamaRupa are the fundamental thing. You have to align with what you are practicing.
Yeah.
And Jhana, like NamaRupa, he is defined, and Animitta, you have heard Animitta, right? Signless. Have you heard from him? Signless. This practice of cutting the perception he called Animitta, right?
So that's the same thing. It's a cutting or Animitta. That's the same thing. Cutting Bangalore.
But if you literally speak, our word in India, our word is for not cutting. If you see, Ni word is for cutting. For example, Nirodha, like Nirbhay, Abhay. Nirbhay is there is a fear in you, but you don't express. Abhay is there is no fear. There is no effort to remove fear. It's called abhay. It's a natural state. Similarly, animitta means if you have to remove nimitta, it is a sense restraint practice. Na nimitta grahi hoti. It is a practice of sila. Animitta is not a practice. Number one, there is no nimitta. Naturally, nimitta doesn't arise. Then it is called thing. Right? Means nimitta is not arising in you. You are not cutting it. That state is nirvana and it will arise in you. You have to wait for it. First. Second, animitta is also objectified. Right? The nimitta of the wife has been cut. No. Buddhas never talk objectively. The nimitta of subjectivity stops. There is no I. Right? The subject totally gone. The Sachin permanently dies. Right? The nimitta of Sachin doesn't appear. There is no Sachin right now in front of you. I mean, I'm not saying this is the case, but example I'm giving, right? There is a communication between this body and that body, but there is no Sachin in me. This is animitta, the subjective animitta. You got? And he defined it objectively again. Animitta is 9th jhana. It's a definition of nirvana. He is simplifying every definition. Nirvana he is simplifying. Sotapanna he is simplifying. Sotapanna in Goenka tradition is not easy thing, right? It's not a child's play. If you understand this, 1, 2, 3, 4, you understood this, you understood this, you understood this, that means you are Sotapanna. That's not possible. Intellectual understanding will never define your Sotapanna or not.
No, he said even if you have a very strong Shraddha, you can be a Shotapanna. Something like that, huh?
You can be, but not right now you are, right? Right now you are not Sotapanna. The primordial Sotapanna, according to me, and if you are following Goenka, it's a near-death experience. The first experience of Nirvana is not less than death. You understand? The Sakai, the personality will die in me. It is literally feeling of death. So many people have gone through near-death experience, right? Through accident and all. If you search internet, there are a lot of near-death experience by accident, and they have felt the similarity. So you are meditating. Suddenly one day you will feel you are dying. The Viren is completely dying. The body is alive, but the Viren feels that I am dying and dead for a moment. And after then Viren doesn't come back. You get my point? Viren is permanently gone. A new personality arises, which is more wiser than Viren. Then you are Sotapanna. The Sakai Ditti is that dead. I am is died. How can you remove Sakai Ditti without you feeling I am dying? As long as you are alive, Sakai Ditti is there.
So that dying process you're talking about, does it happen suddenly, or is it like a slowly gradual process over the period of month, for example?
Not period of month, many years, even lifetime.
I'm not talking about the sadhana.
It is gradual as well as sudden.
Okay.
But when you die, it will be sudden. But when your practice is smooth, going on, that death will not be as painful as that sudden.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
See, if a young boy dies, it is more painful than an old age 80-year guy lying down in the bed. He's already lived his life. He simply leaves his body. If you see, his death is not as painful as a 40-year person.
Because that 80-year-old already died 80%, in a way.
So that way, we have to get older and older inside us and then die one day. Then you will be Sotapanna. It is not that you understood that you are not this body. Yes, I understood I am not this body. Now my Sakai Ditti is gone. It's not like that. Your Sakai Ditti will never go away from you until you really die. That death experience is not artificial, real death experience.
And that you can see from your reactions and everything, that how much ego you have and all that.
How much presence you have. You are in a room and no one knows you. You are become like an air. You don't leave any impression of yourself in the room.
There's no ego left,
Your wife will also notice it. You are different now. You are like nobody. Sotapanna. It's not a small thing. A Sotapanna is like a saintly person. Rarest of the rare case. It's not a certificate that you can distribute to okay, this question 1, 2, 3 you have answered. So I give you certificate of Sotapanna. It's not that easy. It's not a game, right? Vichikitsa, gone. Doubt. You have doubt in Buddha Dharma? No. You have doubt in practice? No. You have doubt in Sangha? No. Okay, your Vichikitsa is gone. It's that easy. Vichikitsa, the doubt, will not go until you experience the death. Because till then, you only talk about Nirvana. You only talk about Jhana. You only talk about, right? So intellectually you understand. That means intellectually you have no doubt. But experientially you doubt. You have not experienced Nirvana. But now since you experience Nirvana, now I can say doubt is gone. Correct? I have no doubt in Buddha's teaching. I believe it. But believe doesn't mean that you have no doubt, right? You have not experienced it. By experience only you can remove doubt. So this three thing, right? Sakai Ditti, Vichikitsa, and what? Silbatta Paramasa, right? It's Silbatta Paramasa is you have rites and rituals. You believe in rituals? No, I don't believe in rituals. so your Silbatta Paramasa is clear. It's not like that. Even if you believe that by morning 1 hour and evening 1 hour meditation, I will reach Nirvana, it is Silbatta Paramasa. By practice, by this, I will become Nirvana, it is also Silbatta Paramasa. I am trying to get experience of Nirvana. What are you trying? What are you doing? I am doing this thing. That is your practice. Nirvana, you have to practice, but practice will not bring you Nirvana. That is Silbatta Paramasa. It's a paradoxical statement. And that's why only by experiencing Nirvana only that will go. That you will realize, oh, I was daily meditating, but that was not needed. That doesn't mean you really don't need that. You have to practice daily, morning and daily evening. But that is not the guarantee, that is not the certificate of achieving Nirvana. That you will understand only by Nirvana. Buddha told, right, that are you using my teaching as raft? That means one day you have to give up everything, even the Buddha's teaching. When you become Arhant, in Buddha's time, whoever become Arhant, he was removing him from the monastery. You go out and do whatever you want. So Arhant means he is out of training. He don't need anything now. No practice, nothing. It's done. Till then we need practice. But till then also, if you believe that just by this practice, I will achieve Nirvana, then you are wrong. This is Silbat Param. This 3 factor, if it goes away from you, then you can become Sotapanna. That doesn't mean you are Sotapanna.
So what are the 3 factors?
Silbatta Paramasa means rites and ritual, believing, right?
Yeah.
But literally speaking, anything practice, we should take it under Silbatta Paramasa. By doing this, I will get Nirvana. Silbatta Paramasa.
So that's including Vipassana?
Yes.
But that's not a ritual. Vipassana is not a ritual, right?
If you are ritually doing it, then it's a ritual.
Yeah, only I will do morning and evening and this thing will happen. So that kind of thing, it's just Silbatta Paramasa.
Yeah.
But it is mandatory, like, to clean ourselves, it should be.
Yeah. You have to practice. That is must. But only practice will lead me is Silbatta Paramasa. Vichikitsa, that's what I said, right? Doubting. Even your inner conflict is Vichikitsa. Like how to meditate. I forgot how to meditate. Oh, I need to focus on breath, right? All these things. Should I focus on breath or sensation? What should I do right now? Right now I'm not feeling good. What should I do? Should I do this? Should I do that? This inner conflict can be Vichikitsa, right? It's not just the doubt on Buddha's teaching. I don't doubt Buddha's teaching. I don't doubt Dharma. That doesn't mean Vichikitsa is gone. Vichikitsa is every moment present in you. The doubt. That's why you come back, right? The doubt. Suddenly doubt arises. What I'm supposed to do? Oh, I am supposed to meditate. To that level it can be subtle.
Self-view.
That there is a separate self. It seems like Sahakai Ditti, but it is Satkai Ditti. Sat means the being, the 5 aggregate, the self. Even though Sakai or Kaya in Buddha's teaching is not just this body, but mostly it is this body only, and that's why we work on this body. We consider this body as myself. Even though you conceptually agree that no, I am not the body, but experientially you are just this body.
Yeah, so without working on the body, you can't come out of the body. That is true.